Rainollon here. Today is another build showcase and it's the Basmu. So let us immediately start. Starting with the mods I'm using. I'm using Galvanized Scope for critical chance, Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Hunting Munition, 30% chance to apply slash or crit. We're going to be critting a lot, so this is quite good. Galvanized Zap, stash chance, indirect damage plus 10% on target. Vital Sense, critical damage, Rifle Elementalist, plus 9% standard damage, which is a multiplicative damage increase for our damaging elements. And we are going to be proccing slash heat and electricity, which is quite nice. Rim rounds, cold and stash chance, and malignant force for toxin stash chance. Toxin cold give you viral. For the Exos weapon adapter slot mods, I would highly recommend going for terminal velocity. It is a projectile weapon, so this will fix your projectile problems. For the arcane, primary deadhead is by far the best in slot. 360% increased damage on precision headshot kills, 30% headshot multiplier, and weapon recall. All these stats really good for this weapon. For the passive is horrible, but I will talk about it. What it does is when you exhaust your magazine pool, which you should not, release a 9-meter radius pulse, and what it does is staggers enemies and heals you for 100 per enemy in a 9-meter radius. So you have to be very close with a rifle to enemies to exhaust your entire magazine pool to heal yourself. We have so much sustain in this game that this passive is just complete garbage. For the stats, fire rate, good. Magazine size, horrible. Reload speed, 0.2. When you exhaust the magazine size system, it's not 0.2, it's like 2 seconds, I think. Accuracy, very high. It's automatic. Punch through doesn't work for some unknown reason. So it's a single target DPS with no clear at all. Riven Dispo, really good. Thank God it has something good. If you really like this weapon and you want a Riven for this, crit chance, crit damage, and multi-shot is by far the best in slot. Even the part of this weapon, it's not that good for a crit weapon, I will say. It just isn't that good, but still you're going to build crit on it. Critical chance, horrible. Crit multi, not even touched, it's 0.2. Stash chance, solid. Total damage, horrible. Not only it's bad, it also has one element, which is electricity. So I wish the total damage was much higher for this weapon. And also it doesn't have punch through and doesn't have clear at all, so it's why does it have such low total damage. Also it has a secondary explosion, which is also not that great. So the radius of the explosion is 1.7, which is unclear wise, not that noticeable at all. And instead of doing electricity, it does heat. And total damage is half the base shots. And it has a fall off damage. Like, why? Just why? Stat wise, for the regular shots, horrible. Now it also has the alternative fire mode shots, which is the middle mouse. When you hold the middle mouse, it turns from a rifle weapon with projectiles to a beam weapon that has a horrible multi-shot, because this beam weapon is a shotgun and has the exact same magazine size. It's very inaccurate. You have to be very close to enemies in like a 6 to 8 meter radius for you to start chaining and doing damage. It has punch through for some unknown reason. This one has punch through, the beam chain one has, but the regular shots don't. And you're not allowed to build punch through on the regular shots. The crit chance on it are horrible, but the crit multi is very good. So you have to build like flat crit on this for you to see bigger numbers. But the problem with this weapon is the total damage is just quite low, and you only shoot a couple of shots, and you also have to be very close to enemies. It just isn't good. The stash chance is quite good, 90% is really good, but there are not a lot of elements. So stat wise for this weapon, not that great at all. Time for me to show you in game. So how does the Basmu work? You aim and shoot the projectile shots. You can see bottom right, when I stop shooting, it generates my magazine back, which is nice. If you exhaust, you create this, you pretty much hear this sound of pulse, which is the passive. In a 9-meter radius, enemies get staggered and you heal. So like I said, it's just not that good. So you never want to exhaust your magazine pool, because the reload speed is from a 0.2 to 2 seconds. So the way you use it, you just shoot. The moment you get like 3 or 2 shots, you stop yourself from shooting. So you have to stop yourself from DPSing to wait for the generation system to start. and the alternative fire mode button, which is the middle mouse, and you have to be very close. So yeah, that's how the weapon works. Now, time for me to show you against a regular star chart, level 55 working bellow group dudes. So I'm going to start by killing the butchers, get the deadhead stacks. Now shoot the heavy gunners. Now I'm going to show you the alternative fire mode button, which is the middle mouse, which is solid. But it's only good against low level content like regular star chart. In steel path or enemies above level 80, it falls off heavily. And also you have to be very close. Like now I'm going to spawn level 200 steel path or bellow grip dudes and show you that you have to be very close to enemies. Like if I do this, nope. Nope. Ah, there we go. So I have to be in a 8 to 9 meter radius for me to start chaining. As you can see, it does proc a lot of electricity, but it just doesn't do any damage. So you have to build the flat crit on this weapon to utilize the beam system on the alternative fire mode, but that's too much work for this weapon. There are much stronger beam weapons than this, and it's just not worth it at all. And also, if I start shooting these guys to get the deadhead stacks, this weapon doesn't have any punch through and has no clear. And for single target DPS, it just isn't that good. The dots from the rifle elementalist and me proccing hunting munition, heat, electricity does help with single target DPSing, but it's just not that good. So yeah, that's Basmu. So the problems I have with this weapon are total damage is low, stash chance is solid, but crit chance isn't that good, has a horrible magazine size, and the both mechanics, the alternative fire mode and the passive, are heavily outdated. Another problem I have with this weapon is you obtain this weapon, you have to wait for a specific event for the event guy to sell the blueprint for you to make this weapon. So you cannot obtain it at all in this game right now, at all. So by that time, you can easily get yourself a much stronger beam weapon and single target DPSer than this. So this weapon overall is a heavily outdated MR fodder weapon until they release like Incarnate form or Prime form or whatever form to make it better. But right now, it just isn't worth it at all. So I will not recommend. So yeah, that's my Basmu build. If you want to invest, yeah, you can follow the build. I have no problem. It's just they're much better single target DPS weapons. It's just an outdated weapon. It looks awesome. It sounds amazing. It has a lot of gimmicks to it. It's just outdated. Just not worth it at all. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.